the Cold Weather podcast, where today our topic is characters. And since we have like one VTuber here, and then or yeah, two VTubers actually, and then like
Yeah, two.
Pepe, who has like a character kind of, and then Starly's a chicken, and then Sydney Senpai is just a music person.
I'm
And yeah, we have a lot
chicken,
to talk
bro.
about. Maybe.
I'm your local fanboy.
What?
That's me. I said I'm your local fanboy. That's me.
Fanboy, that's what it said.
I'm
Okay.
I'm the audience insert into this.
Nah, that's Sydney Senpai. You don't have a job. Be
I
homeless.
don't-
Remember, it's Science Senpai. Remember?
Oh yeah, it's Science Senpai. Yeah, it's technically Science Senpai. You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Tangent. I'm tired of learning about math.
Tired.
Tired.
The derivative of sine of x is cosine of x,
La, la,
and the
la, la,
derivative
la, la,
of
la,
cosine
la,
of x
I'm
is
not
negative
listening.
sine
La,
x.
la, 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 la.
Hey, already 1 minute into it, you're already off on a tangent.
Wait, was that fun? Wait, was that fun?
Yeah, that could be a record.
That's the record,
Wait,
guys.
was that like actually intentionally
Put on
fun?
Guinness.
Okay, here we go. Announcements are done, and yeah,
Yeah, I also tweeted about it.
hey, let's go. But yeah, I think
Let's-
like the
let's go.
main focus of today's episode is probably just gonna be like talk about like different characters we enjoy and like all that stuff, and like the character which has been on Twitter like 24/7 that I cannot escape no matter what. Like you guys see that character, right? Yeah.
What character?
You like the character everyone is spamming today because you know
Oh,
the
yeah,
character.
yeah.
No,
Yeah.
y'all are
Shiro.
just schizophrenic. I think y'all are just schizophrenic.
Oh, Shiro! Oh
Yeah.
my god!
He's
Oh god!
everywhere.
Oh,
He's
Yeah.
everywhere. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not sure what I feel about his. Yo, hey, Anakuga. I have to do 50 jumping jacks. Okay.
Oops.
Should I
It's
do?
What
popping.
you-
Let's
50.
go.
It's like night right now, and people are trying to sleep. Probably not a good idea. I shall reject that.
Imagine.
Rejected. Refunded. There we go.
Rejected, refund. Give him
Rejected.
something quieter.
Yeah.
You gotta respect Troy, like, he actually gets refunds.
That's all right. Respect. We love
oh
you.
my neck!
Right?
Oh,
Man, the thing about Shiro for me, right, is I kind of like the character, but at the same time I don't, just because of like how fast he develops. You know, like he goes from like homeless bum on like day one, right, and then a week later he's
Yeah.
like killing gods. You know, and I'm like, huh.
I mean, there's a lot more development in the visual novel, but no one
That's
has time
true.
to read that shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get it in like the visual novel, right? Because like the visual novel
Yeah.
format, there's like paths where he fails and like a lot of like struggling and like decision making and everything, right? But as an anime format, I don't really like his character because you only see the one timeline where he succeeds, you know? And in that timeline, yeah,
Not really. You get to see 3 different timelines.
yeah. But
Because you
assuming
got
you're
like
watching like
Hero,
one,
you
one
got
anime.
limited playworks, and you also
Yeah.
have the Heaven Steel one. So
Yeah.
you get to see him in multiple like phases. Basically.
That's true. That's true.
I don't even know where this character is from.
Wait,
Where
what?
is he from?
Wait, what?
Like, he's from
you,
Fate?
you don't.
I don't know where
He's
that character is
everywhere.
Right.
Honestly, I think his
Okay.
powers are pretty sick though. Like you know, like all
Are
their
they?
powers and
from.
abilities and everything.
I don't
Very
know
cool.
much about the Fate universe.
Yeah, I
That's okay.
I've watched
power.
Yeah, I don't
I've
know much
watched
about
a
it.
bit, but I wasn't like enthralled by it. You know, the world didn't
I
like
think-
suck me in crazily. Yeah,
I think Tell told me the whole plot when I first met him, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then I just didn't really jump into it.
yeah. The plot is kind of interesting. It's like a Holy Grail war or whatever. I kind of wish that they kept the characters like based more on their original selves instead of like this weird ass a fan fiction version of themselves. You know, because like every character, right? Every single character, right? Like Da Vinci, yeah, that's a girl now. And, like every
That's
character is
like
like a girl
woman.
now, you know. Like I kind of get where they like try to explain it, and be like, yo, they can like become whatever they want, and everything, right? But it's just like, why though? Like I get you're horny, but like why though?
You know, waifu some money, right? That's the only reason.
I mean,
That's
you're
the
not.
only reason.
Yeah. I do know that there's like alternate like series or whatever where they're like where like some of the characters are like their actual original gender, or like you can gotcha pull out like their past selves and like a different generation or whatever. It's I've seen a lot of stuff and it makes no sense. You know, can anyone correct me? Pepe, are you a Fate guy? You're not a Fate guy.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I have watched that shit, but I'm not like
What are
really,
you?
really, really into Fate. I have
Yeah.
watched Fate Zero, Unlimited Blade Works, Fate Extra,
And then like the time traveling stuff and like being able to
and
have like
Fate Stay Night. I also
aren't there,
watched
like,
Fate Stay
8 different versions of like the same character and everything too.
Night. Yeah,
Yeah. I don't really
Yeah, that's the
like
thing.
that, you know, because it's kind of just really convoluted for the purpose of, you know, wow, anime characters that we can sell, you know, or whatever else you may want to put on there. Fate, I think, is a fun series though. Like if you're not being super duper serious, I think it's fun. Oh, thank you for the water thing. Yep.
Everyone drink your water.
Hydrate,
Right now.
I have coffee, I don't have water.
What time is
Yeah,
it
you-
for you,
I don't have
Senpai?
water with me
Let's
right
get
now.
busted.
I don't
Isn't it, like,
keep
9
water
a.m.
with me when I'm on stream.
Yeah.
You
Why?
don't drink water on stream?
Yeah, because like people
You're a
redeem it. So,
heretic. Get
yeah,
outta
when
here.
people redeem it, I don't have water, so I can say, I don't have water, and ignore your request.
How do you,
It's
how do
fine.
you, how do you not have water,
Yeah.
bro? You're supposed to have water on your body at all times, right?
Yeah, and I mean,
Yeah.
I drink
It's
water
another
before the
fact.
stream and after it, and there's always a glass of water in the kitchen,
Yeah.
but I don't keep it with me. So when people
Mhm.
ask me to hydrate, I say no,
No.
because I'm a rebel. You know? I'm a
Like
rebel.
no.
No,
Yeah.
Bro,
no.
can't believe this man is denying
Just
free
have a
water.
hydrate.
This
Yeah,
man is
just have a
denying
hydrate redeem and don't drink because you don't have water. Let's go.
Thank you, Squish.
Every time you
Just make people waste points.
every
Yeah, that's
time,
what I do. I love
Every time
making
you-
people waste points.
Like
I do the opposite. I don't hydrate when you redeem hydrate.
yeah, time to unhydrate.
I'm gonna do an unhydrate.
Unhydrate.
Okay. Back to
Each
the topic.
point is an hour of water I don't drink.
Okay, back to the topic. So what kind of character like archetypes do you guys enjoy? Because like normally I enjoy like a Lancer quite a bit, which is kind of like, you know, like the protagonist is like rival or like
Wait,
side-
are we still talking about Fate?
Oh yeah. I mean like
Right, I
isn't
guess.
Archer a Lancer to Shiro?
Archer, Lancer,
Archer-
Shiro is an archer, I think, or something.
No.
like that.
I mean like their archetype, because like there's like, you know, there's like the main character archetype, right? There's like Archer and like a bunch of other things.
Someone, you mean, like yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite are the Lancers. Like Lancer characters are the best. If I was a servant, I will be a Lancer. Honestly.
Wait, Pepe, do you not know? Oh yeah, yeah. Basically, in English, like, you know, English literature, right? There are like different archetypes. For example, Lancer is basically just like an archetype for like the character which like mirrors the main character, you know. So like if the main character is like a very like happy character, right? Normally he'll be like the edgy character, you know. And if the main character is edgy, he'll be like the opposite, you know. Basically, it's
He's
another
the-
word for the do protagonist, you know.
The Sasuke to his Naruto.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good comparison right there.
That's a good comparison, yeah.
Yeah,
Hmm.
the
Oh my god.
Wait.
Sasuke is a cool character. He's
Sasuke
really
is a cool character.
Yeah, that is interesting, yeah.
Evil
And
Japanese
what does
isekai
evil
be like
Naruto
the
be like?
main character.
Evil Naruto.
And I hate quick progression stories at this point, because like my problem with like I've read so many isekai novels and everything, and like, you know, like a bunch of these Japanese novels where they're
Uh-huh.
like just like, yo, main character has some super OP cheat and just like, you know, just lives a slow life. I hate slow life. No.
I hate normal life. I come here to read to escape reality. I hate it.
Because like if you think about it, right? Like you guys have read those novels. You guys have seen those like kind of
I've seen
Japanese
those novels,
fantasy,
yeah.
right? Where it's like, yo,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I go to a fantasy world just to take a nap, right? And I'm like, why
Uh-huh.
though? You know, I mean, like from like a social standpoint, I can totally get why the characters want to do that, right? Because like stressful
Uh-huh.
Japan life, right? Because Japan's like
Yeah.
crazy stressful, right? But like, if
Oh,
I
yeah.
was like, you know, in a fantasy world, I would either like not do that, or I would just I would probably do the same and just take a nap every day. Yeah.
I'd be kind of mad if I just got transported into a fantasy world right now.
Yeah.
Because all those years in school wasted, I'd be so mad. I'd be so mad. I really would.
Okay. Interesting character question. If you or like your character that like is like your OC or whatever was transported into like a fantasy world, like just a generic fantasy world, what kind of character would you like be? Like Pepe, you start. What kind of character would you be in like a fantasy world?
Like the best one.
The best character.
He's got a main character, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
I'll be like the funny, charismatic, heroic guy. Like he's there. And he's like saving everyone, like he has no problems. He's always crying. He doesn't cry every single night at night. Like he's so secure about himself, and he has a job, and he's funny, and he's like he doesn't cry.
He hides his emotions.
Super well.
Honestly, if I was in a fantasy world, I would probably just like get enough money that I can like live off of like the money and just like not talk to anyone ever again.
I'm just trying to I'd be a farmer, honestly. I'll just be a farmer. Fuck you.
Farmer, like an
I'm just be a
NPC.
farmer. Yeah.
What kind of gift? What kind of quest will you give?
I don't know. Don't bother me. That's my quest.
If I was
like
an NPC,
one of
right?
those NPCs like has like no
That's
dialogue.
word though.
If I was
I'll maybe give you like a carrot or two. Here you go. That's safe, I guess. I'll give you a
Just a carrot.
carrot.
do you guys think that those like NPCs were
Play
to like
slave, guys.
like go to that forest over there and like kill the boar or whatever, or literally just telling you to like fuck off?
Oh, God.
Like
I just I want to be strong enough to like defend myself, but
Yeah.
be a farmer. Like take care of my own. And
honestly,
shit
farmers
is-
are pretty
shit
dang
is
strong,
okay.
like farmers
Exactly.
are pretty dang strong. Like
I'm gonna be out here lifting cattle with one arm. That's
Yeah.
man, that's too much work. If I was a
Dude,
farmer,
what kind
I
of
would.
Skyrim are you using?
Okay, so this if I was gonna be a farmer in like a fantasy world, right? My pathway would be get enough money to hire other people to do the work for me, and then I will not be a farmer.
Well, you're the worst kind of farmer. You're like,
I'm a successful farmer. Okay, everyone, stretch and
Farmer.
posture check real quick.
I'm not gonna fucking do that.
I'm excluding farmers farm club.
Yeah, Pepe's laying on the fire right now. He can't do a posture check. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm
Hey, you're
playing
basically
right
saying
now.
the best farmer doesn't farm at all.
Exactly, capitalism.
No, the best farmer farms. He does the work. He's in there in the dirt every day, every morning,
No,
Every day.
no.
every day, every morning
Honestly,
till night.
I doubt that you would be
Wake
able
up,
to. Like,
sunrise.
I hate having daily tasks like needing to do farming and stuff like that.
See, you
Well,
just
Yeah, take it back to farming on
lazy.
RuneScape though.
You're just lazy.
RuneScape farming though. That's another. It's like a chore.
Yeah, he's like this is a chore to live. I hate it.
Yeah, it's like I gotta teleport to this farming patch. I gotta teleport over there. I have to take this route to go over here. Cut my herbs, cut the trees. Like, what the hell, man? It's a chore.
It's a
He's
chill.
like, damn, bro.
Honestly,
Yeah,
though, in like a
it-
fantasy world, like
So I don't even know how you're gonna get the money if you're not gonna want to do basics.
Exactly.
Yeah, I have to
Like,
like buy the
they were like,
seeds
go
too,
fight,
bro.
go fight these monsters. So I'm like, nah.
Ideally, if you want
I
to
don't
live in a
really feel
fantasy
it,
world,
like,
all you need to be
Yo,
is like
you're the
slightly
hero.
better than the bare minimum.
There's a big ass dragon.
Nah, if there's a big ass dragon, I'm getting out of there, man. Like what the hell am I gonna do? Like ideally, right? If a dragon is trying to kill you, right? Are they gonna land on the ground so that you can like stab them? No, they're gonna just like stay in the
No.
air and keep breathing fire at you. You know?
Exactly.
Like, what are you gonna do about it? Take out your bow? Like, yeah,
Put
no,
an eraser and erase him from existence.
magic
Yeah.
eraser. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Like,
Yeah, just bust out your cheat code.
bust
You cannot fucking stand my eraser, bro. Like,
Just be the
fucking
creator.
name after me, eraser. Like, you're gone, bro. You're fucking gone.
Yeah, it's just a giant manga, and you have like a fourth wall breaking eraser thing. Okay, what kind of characters do you? Sorry. What kind of which characters do you guys like? Tell me about some of the characters you guys enjoy. Because one of my favorite characters, right? Let me start actually. One of my favorite characters, right? In any book so far has to be Feng Yuan. He's like a character from this Chinese book, which is titled Reverend Insanity in English, right? And basically the entire plot, right, is that he is a guy from Earth to a fantasy world, right? That's pretty normal, right? And then at the start of the story, right, he dies and goes back to the start, right? And he's like, maybe he dies because he was so evil, right? And instead of be maybe I should live a good life, right? He's like, nah, fuck that. I'm gonna become even stronger and more evil. And then yeah, it's a fun story. It's a very fun story because he just kills everyone. Murder is good.
Okay.
So he's in a forest, right? And he finds a boar or a random forest animal that's partially injured, right? And he's like, so this thing was probably being hunted by someone else, right? He kills it, right? Someone else is like, yo, that was my boar, I was chasing it, right? He kills that guy, right? He finds out where he lives. He goes to the family. He was like, yeah, I saw your person, and he robs the guy's parents, right? And then and then after robbing them, he just kills both of them. He kills his father. He's one of my favorite characters just because it's so different than anything else I've read, you know? It's kind of insane though. Don't be like him though. Please don't.
Yeah, I don't want to be I don't have a passion oh yes, I want to go out and murk everyone right now. Do you toil, huh? Do you have that urge?
Yes. Every day.
I'm gonna call your doctor after this.
I don't have.
You know what I really like?
Yeah. What do you like, Pepe?
I actually really like characters that seem strong, but actually very flawless. They act strong, they feel strong. People think they will do anything, you know.
Yeah.
But deep inside, they are broken. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's nice.
Man, that's a mood, man.
Can you give us some examples of that? Because I'm thinking of wait, who am I thinking of? I mean, King and One Punch Man kind of fits.
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
Yeah, for example, Guts from Berserk.
Yeah.
He acts tough and shit, but he's a fucking depressed guy. He's fucking
I mean, I would be too.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be too.
Fight for the fucking...
Me too, bro.
That's the bully archetype, man.
All he has, for example, Snake from Metal Gear.
Yeah.
All he has in life is war. He doesn't know anything.
That is true.
His mission, for example, in Metal Gear Solid 4, after he's done with anything, his last mission is basically to kill himself. Because he has nothing else to fight for, and he has the Fox Die virus. Basically, he has a virus that makes him age faster.
Yeah.
But he's also becoming a biological weapon. And if he doesn't kill himself, he's gonna turn into fucking Pandemia.
What? Pandemia? What?
Yeah, Pandemia. Yeah, yeah. He's gonna turn Pandemia. Basically.
Oh, what?
He he will spread the virus. A Pandemia.
Got it. He will start a pandemic. Yep.
Yeah. But damn,
Got it.
Yeah.
Those type of characters are insanely broken, but they try to act tough because that's all they know. I like that. Also Dante. Dante is also fucking depressed as hell.
Yeah.
But you
doesn't Dante pretend? I mean, not pretend, but joke around and everything. Just because that's how he was kind of raised, I guess, or something like that. Because there's a lot of trauma because his dad and his brother.
Yeah, that's not how he was raised, but that's how he copes with everything.
Yeah.
That's how he copes, being the funny guy.
Yeah. I know a lot of people IRL who cope in a similar way.
Virgil is a very methodic kind of guy, you know?
Yeah.
A very cold guy.
Yeah.
He looks like a guy that would love a cold weather podcast, you know?
Yeah.
Cold weather.
Right.
I haven't played through all of all of the what is it, the 5th game, right? But doesn't I think I've seen some spoilers and he splits into his quote unquote human account, right?
Don't spoil.
No spoilers.
Come on.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
Isn't the plot of 5
yeah, but no spoilers.
No spoilers.
Devil May Cry 5 is one of the best games of the whole decade. Don't spoil it. Like, it's one
Nah,
of
nah,
the
nah,
best
nah,
games in the
Pepe.
entire
I'm a
decade.
rebel. You said that you were a rebel. I will spoil it for everyone now.
It was- I'm gonna spoil No Man's Sky for you, bro. Turns out there is man in the
There
sky.
is man. There is actually man in the
Like
sky.
spoilers.
Funny
alright?
enough, I
Damn.
have never seen a male creature in No Man's Sky so far. I've seen Vector, I've seen Anomaly, I've seen Female. I have not seen a male creature in No Man's Sky. They do not exist.
That's a
Well,
you problem.
they
That's a you
evolved
problem.
past,
That's a skill issue.
That's a good.
That's a skill issue. They evolved past the need for a man.
And imagine
Jesus
having your
Christ.
gender be vectorized, or not gender, but like your actual like biological like sex be like vectorized.
I know there's
Like what
I
does
know
that
there's
even
a
mean?
there's a lizard where it's only females because they like.
Oh yeah, and they
basically-
swap gender and everything, or yeah.
No, they don't swap gender. They're like straight up all female. And they just clone themselves. That's
That's kind of
pretty
weird.
It's very weird.
Because I know that like goldfish clownfish, right? They
Oh,
swap
yeah,
they swap
clownfish,
their gender,
they
right?
swap.
Yeah,
If there's too many males, some of the males will turn female.
makes sense.
I have not heard of this before.
You haven't.
I
Haven't
think
you
there's
watched-
another
I've
fish that does that too.
Moral,
I
haven't
don't
you
know
watched
what it's
Finding
called, but there's
Nemo?
another.
I have watched Finding Nemo and Finding Dory.
Yep.
Yeah, it was Finding Nemo. That was real.
Series ruined.
Yeah, and they're like,
Nemo,
they're like
Nemo
wanting
would
to
be
change
a
genders
girl.
or something. Or what's going
Nemo
on?
would be a girl, yeah, if it was real life.
What are some other I think like most. No, not most. Huh. What other characters fit the stereotype that Pepe was talking about? I think a lot of like the more grim dark series have like main
One
characters.
that I
who-
like a lot. His name is Pepe Pez. He fits that category very well.
Hey man.
I've never heard of that character.
Yeah, like
Nice,
Pepe
like,
Pez.
Yeah, it's from Pepe the anime, man.
Yeah, it's
Um,
from Pepe Pez the animation. It's a very good anime. Basically, it's like a
animation.
dog. It's like a dog, but it's also like a human.
Yeah.
But he's also like a demon or something. I don't know.
Whoa, no
I'm
way.
sure
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
funny.
yeah, yeah. I remember
But
that.
he's also
That's
like a
every-
First
demon.
anime I've watched. Would recommend.
Yeah.
Wait, have you
Yeah,
guys
it's really
watched?
good. It's really good.
Have you guys watched?
Can I
Re:Zero?
stream it illegally?
Re:Zero, it's yeah. I have a thing with Re:Zero. It's a little bit out of topic,
Yeah.
but I think Re:Zero it's best experience when airing. Because like when that shit is
Yeah.
airing, you watch an episode, and every single episode ends with a cliffhanger.
Yeah.
So you got like an entire week to discuss it with your friends. Like,
Yeah.
oh damn, did you saw that shit?
That is
And everyone will be like, yeah, bro, I saw that. But when you see the anime once it's like fully released,
Yeah.
it's not the same.
Yeah, it's
Because like
definitely not the
everything
same.
is like one thing after
It
the other
goes
one.
too fast. Yeah, it like
I
goes
feel like
way too
that's,
fast.
that's most
Yeah,
animes,
yeah, yeah.
especially if they have cliffhangers.
Yeah.
Like if you're watching it weekly, like yeah, it's gonna you're like what the like what you're
I do
gonna be
think-
so confused.
I do think that
Well, I
Subaru's
just-
character fits that. Like he dies like 50,000 times, and like no one in the story realizes it. Pretty much, you know. Like
I like that he's like the only one who like really knows.
yeah,
like all the
like
struggles
you
he's
wonder
been
why he
through.
doesn't like Rem, right? Because like Rem is definitely best girl more or less, right? As like the internet agrees,
I
right?
don't know, bro.
But then
Have
again,
you
Rem
seen
does
a-
brutally murder him like for like 5 different timelines, you know, like very brutally. So like I get why he doesn't like her, because like just you know like I'm not gonna date the person who would kill me in like 0.5 seconds, you know.
I would. I just like. the
I
feeling
would.
of
I
way
mean,
more.
I wouldn't mind. You know, I wouldn't mind, bro.
Yeah. Huh. Strangely enough, I think remember when we were talking about Naruto and Sasuke being like, you know, Lancer and all that? Naruto
Oh, yeah,
kind of
yeah,
fits that as well, you know, because like he's like abandoned, orphaned. His like best friend like left the village, right?
Naruto's so fucking
His
sad.
like parents are dead, right? Like he's like always
Yeah, that's
joking
so
around,
sad, man. Damn.
you know? Yeah.
And everyone treats him like shit. Like his dad didn't save the whole fucking village.
Yeah.
God damn.
Yeah. So he
Right
so
there.
his dad's like
Another
Because of
thing.
Nine Tails, man.
yeah. So his dad's
And
like
he didn't even ask to have the 9 toes put
Exactly.
into it. Like what?
yo
That's all
imagine
like
right imagine your dad like saves the village, right? And then like he asked like basically like the president or like the Hokage or whatever, right? hey, take care of my son, right? And then his son can't even afford good milk. Like his son has like all spoiled food, gets moldy constantly.
Yeah, it's sour. Yup.
Yeah, it's always sour. Yeah.
Like,
Everyone
what the
makes
hell?
fun of him because I hate. This is why I hate. Was that early Sakura? Because she made fun of his dead parents in front of Sasuke as well. Like his parents also just died as well. Like,
Like, bro, man.
I feel like it's just a common trope in Naruto. His parents are dead.
Wait, let me actually think this through. Okay, so Sasuke's parents are dead. Naruto's parents are dead.
Yes. Who's the sand dude? I know his parents are dead
Lee's
as well.
parents are dead.
Yeah, Gaara.
Lee's parents
Lee?
don't exist.
I
They
think
just
Lee's
don't
parents are all dead, right?
They just don't exist. Like they do not exist. They never mention them.
Their parents
ever.
don't exist. Dang.
Who else has dead parents?
Okay,
I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it, bro.
Clip it.
Everyone down, dude. What kind of timeline is this?
It's the scuffed timeline.
No parents. Those kids can do whatever the heck they want.
No parents.
Yeah.
There's no parents timeline.
They reminds me of the Jimmy Neutron movies. Like all the parents got.
Oh, yeah, that was kind of good actually.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I saw it again like a few months ago on Netflix.
I do think like
I haven't watched it in a while.
I do think trauma can be a really good like developer for a character. However, like a lot of the time it's used very cheaply. You know, when it's used well,
It is.
it works really well. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a poor example of that is Katara and the last Airbender. She keeps bringing it up. She's like, I have a dead mom. My dead mom. Like every episode. And her brother, fucking what's his name? My favorite dude. What's his name? Like Sokka.
Sokka.
Like his mom is dead too. Y'all share the same mom. Like what? And he barely brings it up.
Do you guys remember like Jet or something?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I remember Jet. Yeah, I remember Jet.
I think Jet was an interesting example because like on one end, right, his like parents are dead, right? But on the other end, like he's not exactly like all like, yo, I'm the protagonist or anything, right? He's like, they actually develop his character and like show how like trauma changes him as a character, you know? And like his way of like going against like revenge and everything, like just open out revenge against like every Fire Nation person, regardless of like who they are or like what they've done, right? I think that's like a very interesting way to develop the character, you know? Mainly because a lot of stories end up making like the person who has the trauma black and white, you know, like it's pretty much like, yo, they killed my parents, so it's fine that I killed them regardless of who they are, you know. But Jet was a really good engine, a way to develop that kind of, you know, moral gray, I guess, because like
I like that.
Yeah, I think moral
because
gray.
I feel like most people would do I feel like they would feel the same, right? So I feel like if your parents were marked by this group of people, and then like you grew up knowing that these group of people like super antagonistic, so you want to like hurt them. Yeah. But at the same time, if you were to do that, you would just become the people who marked your parents, and it just the cycle would keep going and going. And I like when they learn like, I don't want to be that kind of person. Like everyone.
If like let's say like my country's at war with another country and like the other country killed my parents or whatever, right? In that kind of setting, the place I would probably draw the line is like soldiers or people who are like actively in the war are like, you know, probably more justifiable, you know. Meanwhile, like civilians, I think civilians is where like most people cross the line, you know. Like once you start hurting civilians, that's where, you know, you've gone too far.
I think
that's kind of lame.
I was gonna say also that I think that sometimes even the soldiers aren't to blame because they kind of like usually they're just forced in that situation and they have to like follow the commands. If not, they're gonna receive punishment. So it's more like the people in power of the country like you really want to get revenge against. Yeah. And even then, I feel like it'd be better just change powers instead of just murking them.
I feel like it's like a very weird situation, right? Because like on one end it's like they're invading and all that, right? But like where do you cross that line between like stopping them, right? Because like Jet was like, Pepe, have you watched Avatar? You probably have, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bro,
Yeah.
I love Avatar.
Because Jet is like, yo,
I mean,
we're
that's
gonna
a-
like blow down this dam, right? We're gonna like blow down this dam right here and like kill everyone, including our own people. And that's like
Just
crossing
drown
the line
everyone.
at like the civilians, right? And then crossing the
Yeah.
line at your own civilians, and that's like double bad, you know?
That's when you like.
Yeah.
I feel like you're more in it for the revenge instead of like trying to get over your trauma, I guess.
Yeah.
I'll be
Because
back in like 1 minute.
Okay, yeah, but
all right, because you built your whole persona on like I'm gonna get revenge. I'm gonna take down the Fire Nation.
yeah,
And then it gets to a point where you're not doing this to get revenge from your parents. You're just doing this to hurt the Fire Nation.
Yeah. I'm guessing it's like a lot of
Yeah.
like being like in the moment as well, because like you know,
Uh-huh.
like he's probably just
Mhm.
like continuing like the hatred over and over and over again. And like once you get into a cycle in life, like once you're like, you know, like doing something constantly and consistently like every day, right? It gets hard to like take a step back and be like, huh, maybe I've gone a bit too far, right? And at the same time, like once you're so invested into like a cause like that, it's very hard to just kind of go, huh, let's think about where I am at this point, right?
Oh
Because, like,
damn, this is
I was
real.
gonna-
yeah.
I was gonna say that
I'm out again.
one of the character archetypes, I guess, like I really like.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to avoid spoilers, but it's Aaron from Attack on Titan. I haven't seen
Oh,
was
but
it I haven't seen the final season, but I've watched up to like the most recent stuff, and like the stuff I've witnessed and the stuff I've heard. It's just kind of like crazy, and I really like it because he's kind of like forced into that situation, and he didn't really ask for it, but he kind of has to take like action.
I don't want to spoil. I don't want to spoil.
That'd be like,
Sorry, bro.
you big, you ruined his character.
I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Nigga, Shirley, stop it now.
I'll just say, I like that type
Pepe's
of
dying.
character.
Pepe's dying.
Watch that.
You're literally
anime.
killing
It's
Pepe,
really
bro.
great. I think the final season is coming out January.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. But besides that, I guess I also like. I think I've mentioned this last podcast, but I like when the main character kind of turns like evil. I guess you could say like a Anakin Darth Vader type of.
I like it
Oh, yeah,
when it's
I
like
remember
pulled
that.
off
I have
well.
a fire gun.
I think it's fine when it's pulled off well, you know, because like it's a very hard thing to execute like justifiably, you know, like
Yeah, you can't. I feel like if they just like be like, oh, he's evil now, like
Right?
it's
And,
like you're like what?
the main thing I'm very concerned about when someone does something like that is like when it's like an evil power or something that makes them evil, you know, like when it's like
no, I don't.
yeah, because like at that
Like-
point like execution is just so important, because like if it's just like yeah they're evil for good, or like they're just, you know, it just happens, that's like okay, you know.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I feel like it is used a lot of the time for like edgy factor, right? Which is like kind of what
Oh,
it
yeah.
was for like the curse mark for like Sasuke really early on, but then they
Oh,
developed
yeah,
that
no,
a
that's-
lot, you know.
Yeah.
There's like a lot of those like shifts to like the other side, right? And then there's like the question of like if it is what they did under like the influence or whatever, like, you know, like their actions or all that stuff, you know, which is
Yeah.
always fun. Because like, you know, like hey, you were mostly being controlled, but you were still doing the actions. Do you get like the moral like pass, you know? Like
Yeah.
I think that's
I
like
also
always
like
fun.
I think this also kind of like connects to like a double agent.
Yeah.
Like they were like portrayed as good, but actually they were like bad the whole time. You're like oh, what is this? What is this twist?
Those are fun characters. Those are
I was like, yeah, no.
yeah. I think like if they like show hints of it really early on, or like you know, just like pepper in hints that they might be on like the other side, that's when it gets good. But if it's like
Oh yeah.
if it's just like a
I
sudden twist,
I like it when they go ahead. Sorry. I'm sorry.
If it's like a sudden twist where like, you know, like just out of nowhere they're just like, yeah, haha, I was on the other side all along, right? And then you go back back into like a few episodes they were in, right? And you're just like, there has been zero indication of this ever, you know. That's when it just feels like a plot asshole, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna say that I like it when they. I'm gonna bring it back to the Attack on Titan real quick, but if you watch it, if you're going blind, right?
Yeah.
You watch the few seasons, right? Like, oh my god! But then if you like, with the knowledge you know, and then you rewatch it, you like see like all this stuff that like you could have caught on if you knew it, but you didn't because you weren't really paying attention. And you're like, oh my god, that's so crazy! What? How did I never see this? What? That's wild! And I like when shows do that. We can watch it back. You know, like you start seeing clues where it's kind of building up. And you're like, oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the problems with Itachi really early on, because he was just so irredeemably bad, you know. And then like at some point later, right? They're just like, yeah, here's the reason why, a bunch of backstory, right? And then you're like, oh hey, yeah, he's a super cool character, right? But if you think about it, like there was no indication anywhere there, right? Which means like it was probably something that was thought up later by the author, you know. Naruto has a lot of different tropes, actually. Naruto has like every trope, you know. It's just the cast is so large.
Oh yeah, I think Naruto like Dragon Ball Z would have like a bunch of overlapping tropes since they were like pretty early, I guess, in the anime industry. I feel like most animes would take after them because they were like the big three. Yeah. With like One Piece as well.
I never actually got into One Piece, but I did get into Dragon Ball. I think Dragon Ball characters are really interesting, although I feel like later on they really dropped the execution on everyone. Because I would say the peak is either Dragon Ball, like the first series, right? Or middle, early Dragon Ball Z, right? Mainly
I'd agree with you.
Yeah. Mainly because like I feel like in Dragon Ball, right, they had a lot more focus on the characters and like actual skills instead of just plain fighting. Meanwhile, like later on, like even the fighting becomes less characterized, you know, because like like in Super, right, all the characters kind of lose their touch and are all just like, hey, we're gonna shoot beams and then just 3 frames of punching and then just lose that, you know.
That's basically Dragon Ball Super.
Meanwhile, in like, you know, in like Z, right, and then like in Z and then like the original Saga, right, everyone had their own unique skills and their own unique tactics and everything, right? Like Yamcha had like the Wolf Fang Fist and all that stuff, right, and that was very unique to his character, right? We had, you know, we had like the Kamehameha or whatever be like something which only this turtle school knew, right? We had like, you know,
Super Saiyan.
Yeah, and like a lot of those actually had like impact and meaning, right? But then like eventually I feel like a lot of the really long shows end up losing their, you know, original purpose after a while, right? Kind of like how like all the characters were kind of sidelined in Super, right? In Naruto Shippuden, right? Basically what happened was, you know, Lee, who in like the first years was like, yeah, hard work and all that, right? He's completely irrelevant. Like to be totally honest, he's completely irrelevant, you know?
I feel like they really dropped the ball with the Boruto as well. Boruto.
And that's
kind
of the problem I have with like, you know, with My Hero Academia too, right? Because like I feel like the initial impression I have becomes very strong, and like if they don't like manage to pull it off well, I get really annoyed, right? For My Hero Academia, right, the first purpose of that part of the series, right, was like, hey, can I be a hero without powers, right? That's something you literally ask, right? And then All Might is like, no, here, take these, you know, take this hair, right? And then like, you know, he gets powers, right? And like I feel like that's just kind of a failure in the part of the writing, you know, because like all this build up at the start, right, is inherently nullified by like the first episode, right? Like his entire characterization was that he was like obsessed with heroes but had no powers, right? Like what was the point of that other than to make us pity him, you know? because like if you transplanted him like another person, right, with no powers, right, or with like the same power as he gets eventually, the plot would change pretty much nothing other than we would pity him slightly less, you know.
Yeah.
Original intentions I think are very important because like, you know, like I feel like the weakest arcs in like Batman, right, are probably the arcs where like he has like superpowers, right? Like they're cool fan service, right? But in the main continuity they would never work, you know.
Yeah, because that's not who Batman is. That's not the character.
Yeah. Yeah, and I feel like it's like I'm all for character development, but only if it's not like going completely against like the original intentions, right? Like, you guys remember how Asta or whatever in like Black Clover, I think, his main thing was he was like unable to use magic or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't he get like some crazy ass magic later on? Like I can guarantee it.
So yeah, he gets his powers from like a deep. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean like. I guess that's fine, you know, but like I feel like people should explore a lot more underpowered characters now and how they get through things, right?
I like that idea of like a main character going into like a powerful world without any real like powers, and he doesn't receive any handouts, but he like tries to be like the best, and you see the struggles of him.
Or like even like complete opposite, I think is interesting, right? Because like One Punch Man pulls it off really well, right? Because the initial concept of like him being like super powerful, right? They never go, so random event takes away his powers, right? They go, we're gonna follow the original concept, but we're gonna develop the world around it to make it more interesting, you know? One Punch Man does it really well, right? Where they don't have to change a bunch of stuff and kind of follow their original intentions, because like the slapstick humor you see at like the start, right? Where it's like, oh shoot, he's so fun. Yeah, I mean he's so powerful, but all that stuff, right? That continues, right? They just develop like the other aspects of like the world through the other characters, right? Yeah, I think One Punch Man's really good. I remember I was reading a book called Possessing Nothing, right? Where the entire concept of the book, right, was the main character wasn't powerful, right? And you're probably imagining like one of those stories where he finds some random object or a random magical tome, right, and gets super powerful, right? No, he is complete. He uses a lot of hard work, right? But even then, like one of like the main focuses is that like there are people who are like way more talented or like way better starts, and they're still ahead of him for like hundreds of chapters, right? And like only through like hard work does he even like get close to them, right? And like it was a really slow burn, but I feel like slow burns are very underrated in like a lot of like modern content, and like especially like in like the novel sphere, you know, because everyone's going for that like super powerful OP main character aspect, right? Because that's just fun to read, right? But I think slower start characters should definitely be, you know, more looked at.
I feel like it gives a more realistic like a feel to it.
Totally.
Because like for me, I know I felt like super behind to like the big movie producers or big like mangaka writers or whatever. Because I'm not near as good as them, like writing with making stories or writing plot or whatever. But over time, I've learned like how to improve my writing, how to control like do video shit in like college and through school and that, and I feel like, you know, give it some time. You know, I'm not gonna be like the hot shot right off the block. It's gonna take a while before I reach that peak that I want to, and it's gonna take a lot of hard work to get there, but it's gonna be worth it.
It can even take a few seasons for that to happen.
Adric makes a really good point in chat right there. Hey Adric, by the way. Adric says that most anime characters either start out underpowered or are as perceived to be underpowered, and they end up being overpowered, or they just start out as being overpowered, right? Which I 100% agree with, like in the modern anime sphere, like content sphere in general, because there's so many books with like a title like I have the weakest trash skill, but it was actually the strongest. I think that's like an actual title word for word. There's like so many novels like that, right? Or like media where that like that where they don't actually pull through, right? And it becomes OP, right? Like it's kind of sad. Yeah, I think Pepe is dead right now.
No, we're here. What do you mean?
Okay, you were just being really quiet, Pepe. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm very going.
Slow build-up is very hard for an anime medium, though, I think, because like if you have slow build-up, you're gonna need a lot of time skips or a lot of production budget, right? Which is like something you rarely ever get. And like, you guys remember Naruto, right? He started off very underpowered. One of the main things was he was like way less talented than everyone else, right? And he was like, yeah, I'm gonna try real hard so that I can be as talented as Sasuke or like Neji or like all that, right? He literally gives a speech where he's like, yo, to Neji, where he's like, yo, hard work can overcome talent and all that, right? But then we find out, hey, he is one of 9 Jinchuriki who has god powers, basically, you know? And he is the reincarnation of Indra and Asura or something? Astra? I don't
Something
remember
like
the names.
that.
Yeah, but like
I have no idea.
like that's where I mean like
lost.
that's where I mean like, you know, just following through with like the original intentions doesn't really work for a lot of like the longer media, because there's a constant arms race, right? Because like if you see like, you know, if you see like a fight, right, the next fight needs to be bigger, or like a lot of people think it needs to be bigger, you know. But I think some of the best fights in a lot of shows are those which are more grounded or more like, you know, lower leveled and not as explosive, right? Because we can actually like see and understand what's happening half the time, you know.
I was talking to a friend just recently about that. They're like the My Hero fans, but they were comparing like 2 fights. Yeah. And I was saying that let me think. I'm trying to think of the fight. It was Endeavor versus High-End versus All Might versus One for All. Anyways, the point is that one of the fights, I think is Endeavor, was like super high animation. It was like very crisp. It's because it's like very recent as well. Yeah. It's like super good. But compare that to the All Might versus All for One. That one had more like, I feel like you were more connected to the story. Yeah. And like it wasn't super flashy, but like because you were like connected to the story, like it felt way bigger than it was compared to like the Endeavor fight, which was like way more crisp and more like high quality.
Yeah. That's where like I think like one of the things which I remember watching, right, where someone was like people don't have like a natural frame of reference, right, for like super big fights, right, where like, you know, like if someone's flying where they're not on the ground, right, and there's like no like it's just like fire bolts or like whatever else projectiles, right, you have no real frame of reference for that, right, because like where else like in reality are you gonna have anything similar, right? Like having that frame of reference for power, like the ground, or like, you know, just more grounded and like realistic, not realistic. No anime fights are realistic, well, or some are, but you are. Yeah.
I mean, there's only select few.
But what I mean is like, you know,
I feel like you would more understand like a fight that's on the ground compared to like 2 people flying.
In the air.
You could understand like, oh, if I got kicked 2 football fields, that's crazy. You know, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right? Compared to like, I'll take it like.
And if I get knocked into a mountain, I'm still alive.
Yeah.
Wait, I think I remember where.
I take like 60 punches in the air. Like I don't know how that feels. I don't know how to fly, so I don't know how
that's totally real, man. We can all fly.
Exactly, right? You see that all the time, man.
I think I remember where that actually came from, because I remember I was watching like a documentary about like, you know, superhero movies, right? And like how
I think I watched the same one.
Yeah, and how like pretty much every superhero movie never has a fight which is just in the air, right? Because people don't have that frame of reference for that kind of fight, right? So like air fights just end up looking really cartoonish, because like if you see a bunch of people punching in the air, it doesn't hit as hard as if they're on the ground, grounded, like punching, like, you know, shockwaves and everything, right? Oh no, Kay's internet is dying.
I went rip.
I'll do the work.
I think I watched that one because they were comparing the fights in Shazam and
Yeah.
Superman,
Yeah.
where they were in the air, and people didn't really. I know they didn't like the Superman movie because the fight you weren't really like connected in the fight with that one.
Yeah.
And
Moral, can you mute yourself, please, since you're like, I can hear you.
Hmm.
Yeah, thank you, Moral.
I
But
know
You're talking about DC
Oh, yeah,
fights.
yeah, my bad.
yeah,
I know you hear it.
Yeah.
My bad.
Yeah, there's something with DC that I'm not sure
yeah,
because every Marvel and DC movie has like its own formula in a way, you know.
yeah.
Like every Marvel movie ends with a fight between two
Gods.
beliefs, basically.
Yeah.
No, Marvel. It's
Oh,
like two
okay.
armies, and they tend to fight and shit.
Yeah.
But DC, it ends with a fight between two gods.
It
But
doesn't really.
the fights tend to be like presented in
Lackluster.
such a way that you cannot like empathize with them.
Yeah.
Because it's
You
like
can't be like
so out of proportions.
Yeah, that's why
you can't
I'm
really
like,
like connect to like two gods fighting compared to like
Yeah.
I don't know like two super geniuses fighting or something.
eventually,
Like,
once,
how long would that fight last?
yeah, eventually
What's
once
more
you're in like
episodes?
the godly realm of the combat, I think it's really interesting because it ends up becoming more cookie clicker combat than anything else, right? And I say that
Yeah.
because it's cookie clicker combat in the sense that it's not it's a meaty fight, right? It's not that it's like a highly complex fight, right? It's a fight where the numbers are big, you know, where it's like, yo, this fireball can destroy all of New York, right? Or like this guy can punch through like the planet, right? Or whatever other like giant metric, and people
Yeah.
expect you to be impressed just because of the sheer scale, right? And sometimes
Yeah.
that works, right? But a lot of the time it ends up being hard to conceptualize, you know? It looks cool. It might be really well animated, might be really well choreographed, choreographed, right? But I much prefer like smaller, more in depth and like intense fights, you know?
I'd rather have like a
Yeah.
fist fight than like
Yeah.
battling by throwing planets at each other.
That
'Cause you're
happens. that
Yeah,
ends up
I know,
happening in
I-
Naruto.
I-
That
yeah.
100% happens in Naruto. Yeah.
Because you're not gonna be like, oh yeah, I know what it feels like to get Pluto thrown at my body.
Oh my gosh, yeah, definitely,
Oh yeah, definitely. Every day.
man.
Yeah.
Every day,
Like,
man.
by Pluto is crazy.
It's crazy, man.
It hurts. It hurts like
It hurts a lot. But I'm still alive. I'm still kicking. I'm alive.
I'm still kicking.
How are you alive though?
Yeah. Okay, what other
I
characters?
agree with that.
Anyways,
Anyways, VTuber characters. What are some of your favorite VTuber concepts that you've seen so far?
VTuber content.
Concepts, I mean, like design concepts or like story concepts.
I think a
Design
cool concept be like capybara VTuber. You know, that's pretty dope.
Ooh, yeah.
I don't think I've actually seen one of those yet. I don't think I've actually
Yeah.
seen one
I
of
think
those.
I have saw like a drawing of like
Yeah, I saw the drawing
VTuber.
of it.
I forgot from where.
I think for me,
Somewhere on
right?
Twitter.
I think
Yeah, it's on Twitter.
Whole Life Myth. I think like the second gen Hololive. I think is really interesting, right?
You mean
It's like-
Council.
Yeah,
Council.
yeah, Council,
Yeah,
Hollow
Hollow
Council.
Council.
I think it's kind of interesting the way they went about it because it's not like, hey, I'm just like a cat girl, right? It's like I am embodiment of X concept, right? And even though like they don't like role play it out hard, right? I think it's like a concept or it's like a path of like thought which I haven't seen much in the VTuber community, you know? Because like instead of embodying a creature, I guess, or like
Yeah.
personifying a creature, right? You're being a concept, and like that could go into like very interesting story aspects if you like lean into the story stuff, right?
Yeah.
Which I think
Yeah.
Hololive EN has definitely been trying to do, right? Because like they do
Yeah.
have like some story stuff. They do have some really light RP, right?
Yeah.
I think there could definitely be a lot of potential with that. And like I know there's like some VTubers who are a lot more roleplay heavy, right? Where like, you know, like on Twitter, right, they'll be like in character 85% of the time, right? I think that's interesting, right? And like I know there's like a lot of lore characters too, right? And like being a concept, I think that does differentiate them a lot because like I don't remember many other humanity, you know, concepts of
Yeah.
humanity or whatever.
I like was it. I was gonna say that I like the Amelia because originally her concept was I'm a
Time
detective.
traveling. Yeah.
No, they were originally just a detective. I'm just a detective. I'm trying to figure out, what these, mythical monsters are.
Yeah.
That's it. And then eventually she added onto herself that she's a time traveler, and then she like can travel different multiverses and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool that and it was All Alive was like leaning into that now more, which I think is pretty cool.
I think
that they get to like come up with some of their own like lore, I guess.
For me,
Instead
that
of
works, right? For me, that
here's your lore, follow this. That's it.
Yeah, for me, that like that move from detective to like time traveling detective works well because like they're not being serious about the story, right? They're not being like it's not like a inconsistency. It's like just something they add on, and I think that's like that works in that situation, But if I was like reading like a serious like story where it's like oh hey, chapter 500, oh you're a time traveler, wow, you should have told us sooner.
By the way,
wow,
by the way,
I known earlier.
A couple times that I got a whole multiverse army of myself.
I think the VTuber medium actually does allow you to be a lot more wacky and like reinvent your character a lot. Because like I know there's a lot of people like totally do reinvent their character, right? Like re-debuts, right? Where it's like an entirely different model, it's an entirely different character, pretty much, right? The VTuber being not super story based does give you a lot of ability for that, As like a structured and serious story medium, though, like most writers don't have that much ability, You can reinvent a character, but you would do a lot of justifying, and it really depends on like how serious of a story you're going for too, like for like a super serious story, right? That probably wouldn't work as well, right? But if it's like a slapstick, right? Like if it's slapstick and you just reinvent a character and give some other slapstick reason for it, that kind of works. That kind of works. Power escalation is a very common thing in a lot of media, though. Like no one wants to watch like a super weak character, or like when you're writing, I have a feeling that like you look at other characters and you're just like, why would they watch this? It's like normal people fighting, right? And like the other manga next to you, right, is like gods fighting, right? And like that comparison between things I don't think is exactly great, because like everyone's always like, who would win, My Hero Academia or Goku? And I'm like, duh, it's Goku.
Goku wins. Goku always wins, bro. Goku's a god.
Goku literally just killed everyone. But like, for me, right, it's like this weird thing where it's like, you can only reference yourself in the scale of your own media, right?
Yeah.
Because like, if let's say I Yamcha versus the My Hero Academia universe, right? Yeah, Yamcha would win easy, right? But it doesn't matter because they're different media and they're telling different stories completely, right?
It's hard to measure like their powers in like a different universe that has different rules.
Yeah.
And like it's just hard to like pinpoint like an exact winner. You can like speculate, but there's not like a guarantee that this person wins because blah blah blah. If someone's like, oh well, in the universe,
I mean,
X, Y, Z happens.
I would say Goku 100% wins, right? But like that doesn't matter because like it's not a a dick measuring contest,
No, jeez.
I mean, that's the
what a
best
comparison, bro.
That's the best term we have. That's the best term we have for this. All right.
Okay.
That's like it's literally the best term, because like a lot of authors who start out do come in thinking, hey, I need to make the most OP character possible or else people won't read this, right? And in some instances they're right? But in a lot of instances it's better to have like a character which you can actually write, right? Because it's hard writing a good powerful character, like powerful within like the world, or powerful like just completely OP and broken, right? Those are the hardest characters to pull off correctly, right? Because like those, I feel like a lot of the authors who end up like writing like more toned down stories do get to develop their characters more because they have like a higher ceiling they can go to, right? Because like if you start out your series within the realm of god killing superhero basically, right,
Yeah,
Like, how are you gonna
go
escalate from there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Naruto did have that happen to them, right? Because they started off with like, normal ninja reconnaissance running around, right? And eventually they became, hey, we're a reincarnation of gods who toss not fireballs, but meteorites at each other. Like, we're on the moon. Like, where do we go from there, Because like that was a problem in Bordeaux, right? And they did address it, right, by killing off everything special about the characters. Not the greatest idea. But like I do feel like scaling is a very important thing. Like trying to keep it within the scale of your story and not continuing to escalate. How many of you guys have played card games? Like, how many of you guys have played Magic or like Yu-Gi-Oh? Or
I grew up on
I play
Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yu-Gi-Oh.
I grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh. I
Yu-Gi-Oh.
started playing Yu-Gi-Oh
Yeah,
at
I
5.
know.
You guys have probably
Man.
experienced like the same exact thing, right? Where like the cards from like 5 seasons ago will be like literally like one shot by this character, like the cards like 3, 4, 5 seasons later, right? Because like there's a constant power curve, right? Where not power curve, but what is it called? Power creep, right?
Power creep?
Yeah, power creep. All right, and that happens like a lot of media too. It happens in media. It happens in card games, especially card games, because they need to sell more card games, right? It happens in like everything, and like I feel like it's very hard to like keep it from creeping to like insane proportions, right? Because
Man.
I feel like a lot of MMOs do it somewhat well, right? Because like like Final Fantasy does go from like killing primals to killing other primals, right? But they have like the levels, so they must be like slightly stronger, right? And like in the frame of the world, they do pace it fairly well, right? Yeah. And it's the same thing in stories too, right? Where like they make the characters more powerful, because hey, Goku has this new power that works really well to sell books, like if you saw on the cover, right? If you saw on a cover, right, Superman gets a new power, or Superman takes out this new technique, or Naruto gains the Rasengan or whatever, right? You're gonna buy that more likely than just like a random old chapter, right? Power creep does sell, like 100% does, right? But at the same time, too much power creep can be detrimental to a story, I think.
Yeah, especially if you like.
I have that balance for sure.
If you already set rules already, and then you're like, I don't know, like 200 chapters in, you're like, all right, time to break everything I've built up these past 200 chapters.
That's where gimmick characters in fighting games go. I know like some of you guys play fighting games because I've played fighting games with Pepe, right? There's like gimmick characters, right, which are able to like, break like the normal conventions, right? Like they're able to move in a different way, or they're able to like do all that stuff, right? But the nice thing about those, right, is they don't become everything thing, where like for fighting game characters, right, this fighting game character has this one gimmick, they're the only one who has it, or maybe there's like a select group of them who has it, but not everyone has it, right? Meanwhile, Dragon Ball has, power creep, where it's like, so only the Crane School can fly. Oh, Goku can fly now. Oh, everyone can fly now. This random space hobo can fly now. Like, where does it stop, like legit, everyone can fly. Trunks at 5 years old can fly. That power.
Well, he's like part Saiyan, right?
Yeah, but like... Goku didn't get to fly until he was like 18.
That's true. that is true.
Yeah, Trunks and what is it? Trunks and Gohan? No, not Gohan. Gotenks.
Gotenks, right? No. Gotenks is a fusion. I don't know his name. Goten?
Yep.
That's his name.
Oh, Goten and Trunks, like the younger versions of them, or like the present versions of them, end up being, slapstick characters. They don't take it seriously, right? Because like even Toriyama knows that it's a joke how powerful they are, But at the same time, them being so powerful is a sign of like the inconsistent writing, Because like Gotenks, right? Gotenks, or not Goten, right? Goten at 5 years old can kill Super Saiyan 1 Goku from the first, like, the Vegeta arc, And that's just kind of stupid, like that's really stupid. Okay, you guys have anyone you guys want to raid before we end the stream?
I could probably check, but yeah, I've been familiar with card games, but not like Yu-Gi-Oh is like another situation because I mainly like just collected cards.
Yeah.
Same with Pokemon cards, but the main card game I played was back in the day was like Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And I have
There's no
noticed like there's like times like when it's like new meta and like the old cards you had
Yeah.
pretty much obsolete. So you have to like get like another card pack or whatever. Just
Yeah, if you're a
get, like, new
classic
set of
Yu-Gi-Oh
cards,
player, right,
you
and you
know?
look at like modern Yu-Gi-Oh, there's like 50 new like fusion, summon, X
Yeah, man,
cross,
it's like
whatever.
I keep
Yeah,
up with that, man.
Every freaking Yu-Gi-Oh season, like every new series. Oh gosh, there's always something new.
Yeah.
There's always
Exactly,
something
like
else.
they
So
bring
the card
OG
game
back,
IRL
man.
changes as well.
I am probably going to raid. Do you guys have anyone you
Jeez.
guys want to raid? Because I might raid Usako. If you guys don't have
Oh,
anyone,
let's
Oh,
say,
Oh yeah, yeah, you should
Osaka's
raid.
good, too.
NAVT.
who should we
yeah.
raid? Pepe?
Yeah, Osako.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll raid
Osaka,
Usako.
yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Osaka.
Everyone's on for the Usako train? Got it.
Let's go. Cold weather gang.
Yeah, our raid message will literally just be, my room has no heating. No.
Or just cold weather gang though.
Yeah, just cold weather podcast.
Oh, we're just gonna go the
Yeah, just go for the
Cold
simple.
weather gang.
Cold weather.
gang.
Is-
No, how about just Tui is a bad character? Just like,
Or how about just
Get
yeah, just cold
And
weather.
it's-
Just cold weather
how
podcast.
about girls
Like
look
that.
better with a real tight sweater?
Cold weather gang, yeah. Wait, Toy can make
So you can be cold. Cap, bro. You already stop capping, bro.
Yeah, that's already enough. Here you go.
Oh wait, what was our previous raid message? I forgot. What was it?
I don't remember. That was the ratio. Ratio was
That
that.
was a funny one. Yeah,
Ratio.
ratio.
What about just this?
Ratio.
Well, what about just this?
Oh, you
raid
get
message?
ratio.
the ratio.
No, it's evil.
What about this raid message?
Bro.
Yeah, no,
What?
just write whatever you want. No raid message. Let's go. Ready, everyone?
Everyone be random.
Everyone be random. Yeah.
I'll just be no raid message.
Go. There we go. Here we
No
go.
raid message. No raid message, guys.
no raid message.
Hey, wait, it's Usako AFK. Usako's 100% AFK.
Man, we can't even get loaded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cat. There we
But
go.
yeah, I do like how you brought up hollow concept because
Yeah.
it's a pretty dope concept. Like to be
Yeah.
like an embodiment of a concept. It's pretty cool.
I agree.